Hey yo, let's go. You know what it is. It's another week of the Smoke and Mare Show. I'm Michael Rennie. With me as always, the lovely Mary. How goes it, Mary?
It's wonderful. How are you?
Doing excellent. Recovering from second place from Waterbury on that last week, but it was a great race and things been going good otherwise though. How about you? How's this week cooking for you?
It's gone pretty well. And yes, Whiterboro did finish second, but it was a pretty valiant effort. And, you know, Tawny
Hey,
Port did great. Tawny
right?
Port proved himself on the dirt, which honestly, I'm not sure I was totally expecting because, as we
Yeah.
talked about last week, Tapeta is very hard for handicappers
Yep.
to figure out what surface is going to be best for a horse. And his ticket
Exactly.
into actually, no, it wasn't his ticket. He won afterwards, but he did run in the Jeff Ruby States at
Yeah. He was in
Turf
the
Bowl.
Jeff Ruby. So
Yeah.
yep, a lot of winners from out that. But, we're excited today. We have a great show lined up with us for the guest of the week. We got Clint Cornett, C2 Racing Stables LLC. It was a great interview. We also are going to go over the Narud Stakes and the Stephen Foster Stakes. Some great racing this weekend. Got the Horse of the Week, Play of the Day. Hey, we got some stuff. Let's get right into it. And let's start off with some stakes races that are really exciting. We got some horse coming back from Dubai. We'll start with the Nurud Stakes at Belmont. Life is Good versus Speaker's Corner is kind of breaking down to me. Mary, what's your lean here in this amazing race here of these horses?
I feel like my take is a little more controversial than I thought it was going to be because I will be taking Speaker's Corner. I really
Ooh.
love this horse. I think last out he just ran in the Met Mile against Flightline, and
Yeah.
Flightline is Flightline,
Yeah.
a
Exactly.
wonderful horse. And I'm personally hoping bettors remember that and not Speaker's Corner's start before, because his start before was incredible.
Yes, I agree. And I'm on Life is Good.
Okay.
This to me, this I can't get off the horse. Ran fourth place in Dubai. This will be the first race back. Training well, like always. Pletcher Ortiz Jr. The way trainers speak about horses a certain way. Pletcher obviously speaks very highly of this horse. He's expecting it to fire. I expect it to fire. Come right back to USA, get back rolling, and just mow him down. But sometimes coming back that first race from overseas, it could need one, so it could create opportunity. I can't fade. Life is Good, but I expect a competitive race, maybe. But I'm leaning with Life is Good there, just to kind of mow him down, coming from Dubai. As you know, Mary, as you've seen, sometimes horses just might need a race though coming back overseas.
Totally agree. I think I was a bit confused of his last performance over in Dubai, and one of our good friends, Ed DeRosa, I just remember his tweet before, and I always rip on him for it. And he said, "Imagine spending more than 10 seconds handicapping the Dubai World Cup." And Life is Good didn't connect there, and I was kind of surprised about that because I personally thought the same way he did. I know I always rip on him for it, but I agree that Life is Good was the odds-on winner there, and I couldn't understand not picking him in that race.
Yeah, no, it was. But maybe it didn't travel well. Didn't take to the feet. Who knows? When the horse travels over there too. Went the other way, might just be happy to be back. So we'll see. It's going to be an exciting race for sure.
And he performed wonderfully back in January
Yep.
at Gulfstream at the Pegasus World Cup. I thought that race was over in the first turn. As much as I love Nits Go, Life is Good won that race in the first turn. So
it's facts. Hey, it is what it is sometimes. But hey, we also have at Churchill Downs the Stephen Foster Grade 2 with a very competitive field dialed up here to me. I'll just kind of kick off here. I'm going with Olympiad. Back on it. Let's win 5 in a row. Olympiad is powering them through lately. Very strong. Underneath, Last Samurai for the coach there should have them dialed up. I think, coming off that win there, when its highest buy of its life. So I expect Last Samurai to be underneath, maybe upset, but I went back to Olympiad to win 5th in a row. Alvarado, get it done. What are you leaning there to the Stephen Fosters, Mare?
Olympiad, forgive me for my stupidity, but Olympiad is the Belmont horse.
No, Olympiad's at. Oh no. I don't. I have to look back on that off the top of my head. Don't think so.
For some reason, that's in my head, but
No, I don't think so.
Regardless, I was trying to put a face to the name, I guess, because
Yeah,
the name. I'm just trying to. I'm blanking here, but I will be taking Mandaloun.
I thought so.
Mandaloun was my Derby pick last year,
Yeah.
So RIP that money.
Uh,
That I did not win for my official Kentucky Derby champion.
Hey, I like it. It's in it. It could be live for sure. Looks well spotted right now. I'm scared of that horse.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe his last start was kind of disappointing, and kind of just a last, end of the field type of finish.
Yep.
But the start before that, I believe, was the Louisiana Stakes down at Fairgrounds and ran impressively.
Yes.
So it was that rematch with him in Midnight Bourbon, and he did pull off the win there. So I'm hoping to see him back in the winner's circle at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, it's a competitive race. Mandaloun's gonna be ready to roll. I expect there. Olympiad has a bunch of winning streak, putting it on the line. I think that's could shake up to maybe those two actually coming down the home stretch there to finish that out. I'm excited for that. And the money today also in transitioning. Thursday, Gulfstream, mandatory payout, pick 6 races, 3 through 8. It's gonna be absolutely flooded with cash. Get in it. It's the closing day. It's their year calendar. It's gonna be over $1 million for sure. Not to go too deep in, don't have a ticket. The first leg, you have a 7 to 5 morning line, maiden race. Just take it. That's just my advice. I'm eating it. Not going to go too deep. We're going to start off with the chalk. Just eat it. It's a 6 race. You can spread it out. I actually have a price horse I'm giving out for the sequence later on, a little tease. But this is eat the chalk in that first race. Then do what you want after that. Race 3, don't even mess around. The 6 is going to be ready to roll. Off a little bit of a layoff. Break its maiden. So yeah, let's do that single in the first leg is my advice for the pick 6. But let's get into that a little later and everyone get that money today. Mary and I also have a joint pick 5, 3 out of 5 last week. It was tough sequence. The last leg when I was 100 deep, we didn't win, and then the one single we missed. But otherwise, from that, pretty good. Had a couple prices. It was actually pretty competitive. A little weird. They scratched a couple horses too in that other single race right at the gate, which dictate it's a 6-horse field. You scratch a third of the field. It's kind of that hurts the bettors. We wouldn't have viewed it that way. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't have singled that race. Would have maybe so it sucks. So stuff you have to deal with is what it is. But we got a joint ticket today. And what do you think about this, Mary? What do you think about this first leg of that competitive maiden race, trying to beat the Ward?
Yeah, we're going in for the win today. Our ticket is costing $63. We're starting the first race with 3 horses spread out. We're going into the second leg with 3 horses. In race 3, we just want to make a note that 1 is not going to end up running. So the 1A, which is a coupled entry, is going to be our pick. The 1 is entered main track only. So we assume just the 1A is what we're going to be taking. And that 1A is going off morning line 8 to 1. Personally, this is, I think, one of my favorite horses going into this because it just looks so good. And if you can get anywhere close to 8 to 1 on the 1A in race 3, I would take it.
I agree. Totally agree. I was looking at that horse. It's definitely alive. I think the morning line's a little off on that one. Actually.
I think the morning is way off on race 3, to be quite honest.
Yeah, he's pretty good too. The guy, I think it's David Aguilera. Then I think it's David. He's really good actually too. He's one of my favorite morning line guys. So yeah, I was shocked. Looked a little weird, and that's why I included the 7. As much as I think it'll be 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a huge low favorite. So we kind of went just too deep there, kind of a price and maybe a 2 or 3-1 horse with the 7 in a very interesting race. Then how are we finishing it off, Mary?
We finished it off by spreading as deep as we could to make sure that we get this ticket home. If we can get through race 4 and get through that single, I think there's a strong likelihood that this will hit.
Exactly, and that's how we gear it up. The 2 I just couldn't get off with the trainers. This is first off the claim. Just rolling with the 2. It's going to be the betting favorite. It's not not getting cued on that horse. I think the morning line is 100% accurate. 2 should roll them in race 4, and then just spread it race 5. And I think we can get there. Got a couple upsets, and then the sequence, and the 63 will definitely pay many times that, at least 10 times that, I would guess, if this hits on the low side too, depending on what happens race 1. So yeah, let's get after this. It's coming. We're getting close. Last week was, I think, right there. We had the right idea too. And last week's ticket was very cheap for going 3 out of 5. If we wanted to spend 63 last week, we would have hit it. So it shows you what you can do. But yeah, this is liking this. I'm liking this. We're dialed up this week. And let's get into this interview. We got Clint here. He was great with C2 Racing LLC. Glad he took the time to come on. Let's jump right in this interview. We'll go over last week here, and here is the interview. Back. You know who we got this week? We got Clint Cornett of C2 Racing Stables LLC. The Wide Kingdom right here. Let's back it up. Keep it rolling. Appreciate you taking the time, sir, and coming on with us this week.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure. Thanks for giving me the invite.
Heck yeah. And appreciate, once again, got the background here, all that stuff. We love it, man. Just good to see the, back and forth between someone that just fires and then you're the owner. We want to keep everyone together. We're all under one roof. Got to keep this thing going forward. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, we definitely, want to get everybody engaged, keep everybody engaged, and follow our horses. And I mean, it's a lot of fun for everybody, right?
Heck yeah, man. That's what it's about. And that's, I know you're not supposed to bet with your heart, and I'm totally about that. I don't bet on my favorite sports team, but I think it's cool that more people don't do. Everyone wants their favorite horse to be the best horse ever in the world, and they want to bring you down if you like and love another horse. That's what more people, I feel, need to do is kind of, I like how I took on Wide Prairie, like it's my favorite team. When he runs, I'm repping like it's a home game. So yeah, I love that kind of relationship built. Trying to put that out there. Maybe more people will do it with their other horses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I definitely think you might be his biggest fan. That's for sure.
I love it. Hey, I'm definitely going to see him. I'm getting my way to Florida. I'm going to find him. I'm going to definitely have to meet him one day. That's 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a little bit about
congratulations.
Oh, go ahead.
Congratulations on. I was just saying with that. Congratulations on the wins with White Barrio this year. You started out the year in the Grade 3 Holy Bull, then followed it up with the Florida Derby, a Grade 1 win. You had a bit of a difficult trip in the Kentucky Derby, but White Barrio finished in a valiant effort for number 2 at the Ohio Derby this weekend. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. No, I'll tell you, since we purchased them last September, I mean, it's been a quick, fun ride, right? I mean,
right. Heck yeah.
His first 2 races were great. And, we shipped them up to Churchill, ran in the Jockey Club.
Yeah.
Had trouble in that trip, but, he could go 2 turns and compete with those horses. So, he loves of Gulfstream. So, honestly, can't wait to see him run there again. But
heck yeah, me too.
Some unfinished business this summer and some other locations.
I like it. Yeah, I'd like him to nip a couple of these other guys later on. And as much as I'd like to have a power hour of Wide Barrio, let's get a little bit of your background. Born and raised in Texas. What kind of guy? It looks like you were into horse racing with your brother early 2000s, if I'm correct. Left a little bit and got back.
Yeah, we had a stable, ran under Turf Express was the name. And we probably had about a stable of 90 horses across the country.
Right.
We ran that up till about 2009 and jumped out. Me personally jumped out, focus on business, focus on family, some other things. He
Yeah.
get in as a bloodstock agent and did that up until well, still doing it today. So, and we jumped back in the middle of last year.
Yeah.
Right place, right time scenario, right? I called them middle of last. Hey, let's jump back into the game, and I said, but one prerequisite, I want to go to the Derby.
Exactly.
Derby horse. So, he was at Gulfstream, saw White Barrio break his maiden, and we bought him privately. And who knew, right? Right out of
Who knew?
Be right back in the game. So, we're going to build our stable, and we like the horses we're adding to the stable. So we're excited about this year.
Yeah, I bet. And you got some good 2-year-olds coming along. I see that you purchased. And what do you think? Since you have 31 starts, 8 wins, 8 places, 5 shows, 26% since 2001. That has to be pretty much on par. Are you on par or a little bit above where you're at? You think were you when you came back into it?
Yeah, we're happy with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think ideal if we could be 30%.
Yeah.
That'd probably be a little bit better for what we're trying to accomplish. We haven't had a lot of runners to date.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, 31 starts.
Yeah.
So I think we're pleased with that.
Yeah.
We are today.
I like it. And you got a couple on Stat waiting to hopefully break his maiden coming up here. How's that? What do you think?
Yeah, he's been working well. I mean, he's ran some good races, and he's been running down in the Tapeta and the Gulfstream. So, he should be running here in the next few weeks, and hopefully he can break that maiden.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that.
And just going back on you, what was the draw to horse racing for you? What really latched you into racing and ownership?
When my brother and I were in high school, we used to drive from Dallas down to Louisiana Downs all the time. And it wasn't because we owned horses, right?
Right.
We just enjoyed going to the track. So we got really introduced to horse racing early on, and we knew at some point we wanted to jump in and own horses. So, we were able to do that in the early 2000s to start off, and then jump back in last year. So, my gut tells me we're here to stay.
I think so.
I think so.
I'm feeling it. I just think, how you've interacted. I've seen you, help, recover horses. You've thrown money here and there. I've seen it all. I follow, close. Thanks for all that on behalf of those people and people that love horses like me. I have my athletic background, and obviously I like action brought me to, horses. I feel like they're just athletes to me. They're the closest thing to the athletic, track type thing, and I love watching them run. But thanks for all the stuff you do on the side end, on the back end of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to give back, right? I mean, you've got people out there like the Race Fund group that is, they've got boots on the ground finding these horses that unfortunately have been left behind. So, thing we can do to contribute to that organization and help them get these horses back where they belong on a farm, we're more than happy to help.
Yeah, that's great, man. Keep up that. I know your goal. You wanted to get into it. You wanted to get to the Derby. You got to the Derby. You're kind of almost your borderline your first year into it. You have your next okay, I got to the Derby. Obviously, you win it. Is that what's your a next goal you would say for C2 racing stables?
I think our next goal is just to continue to build the stable with quality horses, number one. And, this year, we'd like to see White Barrio continue to improve, hopefully win another grade 1. And hopefully in November, we can be at Keeneland at the Breeders' Cup.
That's what I'm talking about. I said on my last show, boy, you got to come to the Breeders' Cup. He's coming. I just, his numbers are solid. I don't care what anyone says. He's caught some hot paces. One of them was a Kentucky Derby. And that Ohio Derby field was stingy. no matter what you say, Classic Causeway ran actually way better than I thought. I thought Classic would die off, so honestly, earlier, like Pineapple Man. That threw actually, I think, it almost ended White maybe in the stretch almost because of how Classic ran on. What do you think about that on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, watching it back, a Classic Causeway definitely fired, in that race like he had before his 2 previous races where
exactly.
He did. So, number one for him and his owners and connections, that's great to see because that's a quality horse as well.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think, White Barrio felt down the stretch there. He was more battling with Classic Causeway.
Exactly.
Side, and that might have impacted, him finishing second. But, as you know, that's how racing goes, right?
Hey, it is. It's all about the setup, and those are good horses. They've all faced the other winners from previous races all this year. It's been a really competitive year overall for the 3-year-olds for sure. And on that note, man, we got the Ohio Derby here. It's a little painful, but still second place is second place, like you said. So let's go over here. Let's check this out here. And just get your perspective on this. And your view. So here's the Ohio Derby loaded in here. So what are you feeling right now? You guys getting loaded in, everything dialed in, free up to the race?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously right here, we're just looking for a clean break from the gate and for Tyler to get into position into the first turn.
Yeah.
You can see here, Tyler's sort of letting these guys go in front of him. So he sit right behind him and rate and let the horse settle in. And he did a great job, getting him where he needed to be into the first turn.
I agree on that. That's exactly how I literally said this was going to happen. I think everyone kind of saw it. What the 2 scratching would have been more of a pace. What's interesting if the 2 would have stayed in the race. But yeah, as you can see them going at it here, 22 quarter, just under. But White seems like he's running well here coming about the backstretch, and you can see Pineapple Man right here. You can tell he's done. And looking behind, I didn't see Tawny Port yet having that momentum. What do you think right here? How'd you feel?
Right here, I mean, honestly, I felt good. I can see Irad starting to move Tawny Port a little bit.
Yeah.
When he comes into the turn here, Irad gets the jump on us.
Yeah.
And he's gained a lot of momentum there going into the turn.
Right. Yep.
You can see right here.
Right here. This is when my face dropped on that video. You could just tell momentum's momentum, once the horses are going. And then, right here, though, they look each other in the eye. I think, you just hope he can respond, lose the lead. Whip gets a little loose there, about 2 lengths out. And then, White gets back. Whip gets out a little bit more. Then, he's kind of, like the momentum and that pace. But right about here, he's still, you just know he's dead. Then he fights on. He's pretty game second, though. Pretty proud of how I think you have to be proud. Look at that. Still going. I mean, that's flying, He never moving slow.
Yeah, absolutely. He never quit, and that's what you like to see. I mean, he fought his way all the way to the line. Like you said, it was a second place. We would have loved to have won it, but you got to give credit to Tawny Port. I mean, and I ran. Great race.
Exactly.
And this might have been just
Go
a prep, This might have been just the race that he needed after the Derby and that kind of confusion. So every horse kind of needs that one race to, dust off the cobwebs and be able to run their best,
Yeah, I mean, he needed a race after the Derby, and this was a competitive field, and like I said, we're happy with the outcome and how he competed in the race.
That's great. I am also. I love it. Glad he came out safe, healthy. It sounds like he came out all right from it.
Came out all good.
Great. And also ran the highest equal base number he's gotten. We got a 106, which is nothing to look past, So I think big things are coming from White there. But yeah, once again, we appreciate you coming on, Clint. This has been great. I'm so happy you took the time to do this, and can't wait to actually maybe meet you here in person down the road.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My pleasure. And feel free to hit me again if you want me to jump on.
Heck yeah, will do, man. Take care, and let's get some of these 2-year-olds home this next year coming up.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. Appreciate it. Mike.
Yep. Be easy.
Take care.
Hey, we're back. What an interview, huh? Thank you again, Clint.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And one thing that he said that really struck a chord with me is that he wants to build a barn, a stable with quality horses. It's quality over quantity there for him and his brother. And I really can admire that because we have so many, owners and stables out there with so many horses and their rosters are ginormous.
Yep.
But just focusing on some quality horses is really important today.
Exactly. They're doing it right. I like it. Good stuff coming. Big things coming from C2 Racing Stables LLC. Can't wait. Excuse me. Can't wait to see it. And we got the horse of the week. Horse everyone knows. Let's pull this up here. Who we got, Mary?
So this is Tweedledee Through the Bridle on Twitter, and his name is Bill. This is a photo of Bill and Frosted.
Oh, and Frosted. We all know him.
Frosted was on the Derby Trail back in 2015 when American Pharoah ended that 37-year drought, becoming another Triple Crown winner. And the one thing I think of when I think of Frosted is the call during the Belmont Stakes when Frosted came to challenge American Pharoah, and Frosted is all out at the 16th pole.
Yeah,
and that's the one just thing. Every time I think of Frosted, I think of that call.
Yeah.
So.
This is great. He just ran into the bad timing for old Frosted. Still a good horse.
But honestly, Frosted really set up Keen Ice to win the Travers that year, too.
That's for sure. That is for sure. Thanks again for everyone for sending these in. We love it. And, it's good stuff there. Frosted looking good in the retirement life. And, let's end this here. So this is in the Gulfstream sequence. My play of the day. It's race 5. A little bit of a price too. The race 5, the 5-horse, Love My Job, right? Look at these buyers and look at where it's finished. It's very on the right path to get its win. I feel like coming here. It was claimed for 40,000, 2 back, fired a good 63, and then ran a kind of a dud race, but it was off track, so we'll forgive that one. And it was off a layoff. In the sprint part of this, the trainer hits at 20% off 35 tries, which I love that amount. The Tomlinson number is 342. So this should be a price, or it might get bet down, but I'm thinking around 5 to 8 to 1, and it's in the sequence of that pick 6. So do not leave this horse out is my recommendation. So there's that. What do you think, Mary? That 5 got a little bit of a shot, looks like?
I'm hoping. I think you've been really on point with all the best bets that you've given out. Money and Gold.
That one of the 2 before. Yeah, those have been the good. Those are hitters. And Money's Gold's firing. I think Money's Gold's on its way to Saratoga. What I'm hearing of some rumbles. So I'm excited to see Money's Gold get busy. So once again, thanks everyone. Another week done. Got a cheers here to that with this Don Julio. Cheers. Woo! Let's all get it. Have safe trips all weekend. And thanks for stopping by. Another week of the Smoke and Mare Show. Smoke, smoke.